She's on her way. The Saga Pearl 2, heading Sunday week into Warrenpoint. Mark O'Hare of Point Shipping is the man who's making it happen. A man of vision. It's given, I often say, Mark, to very few to turn dream into reality. When did you first dream of bringing a cruise ship into Warrenpoint?
Oh, you're going back a little over 2 years. We first thought Warrenpoint's perfect for cruises. There's 17 other ports around the island that all take cruise ships in. Why can't Warrenpoint?
Yes.
So we went about the arduous task of trying to convince people that Warrenpoint actually exists.
Who had you to convince in the first place?
Surprisingly, most of the crew and the shipping companies for the cruise industry, they never actually heard of Warrenpoint.
Never heard of it?
Never heard of Warrenpoint. No.
How much are we spending every year on promotion of our tourism?
But that's changed now.
Yeah, they know now about Warrenpoint.
Yeah.
Now, what drew you to Saga?
Well, we tried quite a few companies at the time, and all of them, they were all interested in Warrenpoint after we chatted to them. But Saga was the one company that really thought that it would be a good idea.
Yeah, and they
probably because because quite a lot of the passengers would be British.
Yes.
Right up to 95% of them.
Yes.
And they just thought with the history of Warrenpoint and Newry and Mourne that they could sink their teeth into that.
Wow. And coincidentally, they had the ideal ship for it, Saga Pearl 2.
Well, that was the other issue we had with the restrictions of Warrenpoint. Quite a lot of the companies, their vessels were maybe 10, 20 metres too long, a little too deep. But Saga's vessels, they were perfect.
Perfect. I know it's a heart in your mouth time. You've done the sums. You know she's perfect for it, but there's always the worry.
Well, there's always the worry that the weather turns bad. There's storms, unforeseen.
But you have ways of dealing with that because you have two lock tugs coming with her to assist in the manoeuvring of the great ship.
Well, that's right. No, Leo Cunningham and the sons, they'll be on board the vessel and the tugs at the time. So. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there'll be no issues.
Had you to travel somewhere to meet with the Saga people? Did you go to their offices wherever they are?
We did, myself and Peter Conway of Warrenpoint Harbour.
Yes.
The two of us travelled over and I think now it's going back. It would have been about a year and a half ago we travelled over to see them.
Where's their headquarters?
There is just outside Dover.
Yeah.
So at the time it was hard to get an interview with them or a meeting with them, but we got it in the end after a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
And we got it, and thankfully
and how did you leave them? You met them; they were a wee bit dubious. You had your time with them. You're an impressive fellow. Conway's an impressive fellow. You left them. Had you a sense that you'd made new friends?
Yes, we did. But at the start, it was hard convincing them why they would go to Warrenpoint as opposed to Dublin or Belfast.
Oh God, they wouldn't go to Dublin or Belfast.
It was tricky because we're so close to those places. But we really had to convince them.
Yeah, but we're taking them to a wonderland.
Of course we are.
We're taking them to a land of Narnia. Because in the Moors, that's where Lewis did his Narnia stuff.
And that was one of the selling points.
Yeah.
It was. And shortly after that, we got Newry and Mourne involved. Yeah. And they were very keen. Specifically, actually, the girls down at Warrenpoint, Michelle McKeown and Tracy Mooney, they came on board and helped a lot.
Now, where is the ship at the moment?
She sailed on the 7th. She left over. So she first travelled around Faroes and she'll be heading on to Iceland.
So she's heading to Iceland
She's heading to Iceland at the moment.
Reykjavik?
That's one of the stops.
Yeah.
There's 5 stops in Iceland.
Oh. Vestmannaeyjar?
Well, the last one before Warrenpoint will be Jaime.
Jaime,
just before, and then there's a 3-day cruise to Warrenpoint.
So it's straight from Iceland to Warrenpoint?
It is, which is a good thing because 3 days in the water, hopefully they'll all want to get off the ship.
They'll want to get off. And how long have you got them for? They're coming in at 5 o'clock.
They're
coming in at 8 o'clock on the Sunday night.
No, sorry, the Sunday morning.
The Sunday morning?
Yes, Sunday morning.
Oh, excellent.
So they'll be sailing, at the moment they're due at the pilot station at around 5:30.
5:30?
Yep.
5:30.
So the vessel will probably drift a little, and then the pilot intends to board the vessel at around 6:30.
Yeah.
To bring it up on the berth for around 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
So the best vantage point for people if they want to come down and see it, probably be around the breakwater. Be perfect.
Do you know what would be a lovely trick? And do talk to Canon Kearney about this. because I'm giving you a picture of magic here.
Oh, yes.
If as they're coming up and in, they suddenly hear the church bells of Warren Point ringing out across the still water of the estuary.
Yeah.
That is a magical thing to occur.
It
You
would,
tell
it
John
would.
to do
And
that.
that's something that nobody thought about.
But I mean, it'd be
actually
great.
beforehand.
And I tell you that only because when I was growing up on the Albert, close to the Albert Basin in Uri, on a Sunday morning to be down on the water, the stillness of the water, and to hear bong,
Yeah,
bong,
yeah. Magical.
bong.
Yeah.
Now those people ain't most of them English.
Yes,
They'll be
that's
coming
right.
from the towns and the little villages, the cities of England. They will cherish that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it'll be a huge lodgement in their memory bank.
It will. We taste the home as well.
We
maybe.
taste of home
Yeah.
coming in. So, how long are they going to be ashore in Warren Point?
Well, the vessel, like I say, is coming in at 8 o'clock, so they'll probably, hopefully, be coming off shortly after that. The activities in Warren Point won't really start until around noon,
Yes.
when the New Point players will be conducting almost like a walk-through play,
Yes.
just in the promenade.
Sean's doing that. Sean, the fellow from New Point, I know the lad.
Yes, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it'll be great for the passengers, and not only that, for the people. Hopefully, the locals that'll
Absolutely.
be coming down.
So they go then. They're in Warren Point. They have the opportunity to go touring.
There's half-day excursions planned. At the moment, we don't know what numbers will be
Yes.
going in those yet. That'll be finalised
Now,
probably
where
a
are
couple of days.
where are your destinations on the tours?
Around the Mourns,
The Mourns.
yeah, as far out as Downpatrick,
Yeah.
and then sort of around, just around the periphery.
Ring of
sort of-
Gullion.
Yes,
Wow.
that's one of them, stretching
Wow.
into Armagh.
Do you know what you should? Who am I? Tell me to be quiet and mind my own
Not at all.
business. But I mean, there's a great geologist, Siobhan, and she's based in Newry. She's a wonderful geologist and a great raconteur and storyteller. You know, if you were doing a thing in Gullion and you met in the courtyard with Siobhan, and Siobhan to tell them and talk to them
Yeah.
for 10 minutes about the sort of ring. The ring of Gullion and
Yes,
the
yes.
geology of it and
Yep.
going back and all the rest of it.
As you say, it's such a prominent feature
Wow,
that a lot of
it's
people as well
unbelievable.
wouldn't really know about.
So will they have the opportunity to dine on shore?
They will. For those that aren't taking the excursions, they'll probably stay on board until around maybe 11, 12 o'clock.
And then they'll perambulate.
Well, that's it. The rest of the festivities and activities will be starting around 1 o'clock.
Yes.
And that's aimed a lot toward the children.
Yes.
Obviously not of Saga,
Yes.
but that's more for the locals and
Yeah.
hopefully to get the tourists in.
And the people from the boat, they'll mingle with the locals.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, there's going to be a craft fair market organised by
wonderful.
the local chamber.
Yes.
Um,
Will you
and
have a
then
band playing?
There will be a brass band playing.
Yo, this is great.
That'll be there to welcome the vessel.
Fantastic.
Probably arrive at around, well, hopefully it'll be ready to kick off around around 7:45.
Yes.
Stay on till about 7 or 8:15.
Yeah.
And then again, which is probably more important, that he's there for the end.
Yes.
You know, to wave them bye-bye.
Waving goodbye.
Yeah, that's right.
So they leave sort of 8, 9 o'clock-ish or what?
No, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock they're
Yeah,
gone.
so it's quite short.
Short, but
It's,
better.
it is.
Leave them
it is.
hungry.
The one thing that Warren Point has above other ports, people can walk right into the town.
Absolutely.
So that's a huge time saver.
Huge time
Yeah,
saver.
and it's a huge selling point as well.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness gracious. Yeah. Make sure we get the streets cleaned and there's
course,
no dog
yeah.
shite. Oh, did I say that word? I beg your pardon. Dog excrement. I do beg your pardon. But I mean, we need Warren Point to be shimmering on the day.
Yeah, of course.
But you've
yeah.
all of that taken care of.
Everybody's on top of that.
Wow, that
the
is so
council-
good.
Well, the tourist department, they're on top of that way in
We'll
regards
be
to the
proud of
council.
Warren Point on the day.
Yeah.
We will. Now, she leaves Warren Point. Where does she go then?
Back home to Dover.
To Dover. Straight
Yeah,
down
and
to
she
Dover.
finishes, sails home to Dover, and that's,
But you're
that's the end of
leaving.
the
They're
tour.
getting you at the last, and they're getting such a good memory.
Well, that's what we hope.
Yeah.
And we hope it's a selling point for other cruises in the future, because it's very much acting as a shop window.
Absolutely. And you see, you're blessed by nature, because if she's coming up through the Narrows at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, they're catching the dawn.
They are.
The sun's rising over their right shoulder.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to take all of that in. You would know right well, I've been on this loch with your uncle, John Donnelly.
Yep, that's right.
John, this man is related to John Donnelly, who I loved and cherished as a sailing companion all my life. and we did great things together on the loch. Founded the first windsurfing school on the loch, Donnelly and myself. And then he went and he died. And when I got the word of his death, this is a small tribute to John.
Yeah.
I remember walking into the kitchen and seeing John in his dungarees, lying on the floor dead. His fingertips were purple because he had been out picking blackberries in the time before dying. And before that, he was playing football with his dogs out on the front street. And I knelt down beside him, and I leaned over, and I kissed his left cheek, and that was the end of it. That was John. And then at his funeral, I wrote a eulogy at the funeral, and I came up, and I know what priests are, and I said, I promised him if it ever happened, I'd write a speech, and you're going to hear it now. That's what happened with John Donnelly. And the spirit of John lives on. Absolutely great. So this is the shop window. You're out. You've got, so to speak, you have a product and a price list in your briefcase.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can go on from there.
Yep. We did as well last year. We went out to Hamburg,
Yes.
myself and Peter Conway as well, and Tracy Mooney from the tourism department.
Yes.
We went out to again, sell the area, sell the cruise Warren Point brand.
Yes.
Got a lot of interest at the time. A lot of people was waiting to find out what would happen with Saga.
Yes.
So now they're going to find out what happens with Saga. They're going to know, so we'll be able to hopefully sell it beyond that. The next vessel that we would hope to get in, although there's nothing firmed up at the moment, would be probably, it's going 2 years from now, so 2016.
Yeah.
These cruise lines, they usually plan 15, 18 months in advance, minimum.
Yes. Well, the documentary I'm going to do with you on the ship coming up, I shall be joining the ship coming up into Newry, making a documentary of its passage from the Narrows up into Warren Point. That documentary, you may have it with my compliments, and you will take it as part of your marketing strategy.
That will help a lot.
And have it, and you can send it out in links by whatever way you do it, all of this. So we're there with you. Destination Newry is 100% with you.
Good.
And when you become a billionaire as a consequence, remember we did it, and use us as your marketing tool across the world.
Yep.
Mark, we wish you well.
Thank you very much.
But wind us up. Yeah, I don't want to cut you off. You wind us up and tell us your last thoughts on this.
No, we're all just very much looking forward to it. There's been a lot of hard work that's went into it from everybody, and everybody's got on board. Peter Conway, Kieran Cunningham down in Warren Point Harbour really got on board from the start. Newry and Mourns definitely got on board. And now we're just looking forward to the vessel coming in, and hopefully everything goes well.
Have you done a long-term weather forecast? Have you looked at it?
I'm afraid to.
All right.
We have. Hopefully everything's going to be
It'll
okay.
be
Yeah.
Dear friends, you've been listening to Mark O'Hare of Point Shipping, the man responsible for bringing in on Sunday week the Saga Pearl 2. And thank you very much indeed. We wish you well.
No problem at all.
God bless you. Take care.
Thank you very much.